Today, a group of 12 states suing Paramount-Skydance, seeking to block its $110 billion bid to buy Warner Brothers Discovery, alleging the deal would leave viewers with higher prices and fewer choices for movies and television. Weighing in on it today, FCC Chairman Brendan Carr, earlier on Bloomberg Tech with Ed Ludlow.
Well, it's hard to see a real legitimate antitrust action, but of course, I leave it to the antitrust experts to weigh in on this. I did think it was interesting that there was a statement, at least attributed to the California Attorney General, that said that they would not sue if Paramount agreed to spin off CNN. It's hard to conceive of a competition or antitrust theory that takes you all the way up to the point where owning or not owning CNN as part of that broader group is a legitimate line that antitrust or competition law would draw. For our part, we do have a piece of this with respect to some of the foreign investment, and we're running a standard process on that, and we haven't made a final decision there yet.
That was FCC Chairman Brendan Carr earlier on Bloomberg Tech. Paramount responding in a statement saying, quote, "The lawsuit filed by the state attorneys general in the most generous light reflects a fundamentally flawed application of the antitrust laws and is wrong on both the facts and the law. This transaction creates a stronger competitor against dominant streaming and technology platforms who have harmed the market for theatrical exhibition and jobs in the entertainment industry. This merger will create a company capable of investing more aggressively in premium content, theatrical releases, and creative talent at a time when those investments matter more than ever."
All right, we want to know more on this lawsuit, what it's about, the legal merits of it. With us is Bloomberg Intelligence Senior Litigation Analyst for Antitrust. She is Jennifer Rhee, and she joins us here in studio. All right, Jen, good to have you here. What's the legal justification of this antitrust suit, and what are the merits of this case?
So what they're alleging here, the 12 states that sued, is that in three different markets, two related to movies and one related to the package of basic cable assets that this combined company would have, that the combined shares get to close to 30% or exceed 30%, but also there are concentration numbers that come out of those markets that exceed the thresholds that are in the merger guidelines the Department of Justice uses and would suggest that this deal could cause harm. So it's pretty straightforward. They're looking at top-selling movies, they're looking at widely released movies, and they're looking at the licensing of basic cable channels.
Is there precedent where states have come out against federal regulators and states have actually won?
More recently, there is, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, look, the states have always been able to enforce federal antitrust laws as well as their own state laws. And they have, in some cases in the past, gone their own way independent of the FTC or the DOJ. They are doing this more and more during this administration, and they said they would. When Trump was reelected, the state said, look, if the DOJ and FTC get lax on antitrust enforcement, particularly in the merger area, we're going to step up and we're going to exert our independent right to go ahead and try to challenge some of these matters.
So Paramount's response, which Tim read, saying, and it's a lengthier response, you guys can find it, it's out there, but saying the lawsuit reflects a fundamentally flawed application of the antitrust laws and is wrong on both the facts and the law. Is Paramount right?
Well, look,
or is that just a response?
I think it's just a response, and it's a very broad statement. It gets down to the nitty-gritty. These matters are fact-based, they're very detailed, and it's about how the relevant markets are defined. The states have defined the relevant markets one way. I'm sure Paramount would say that's all wrong. Those are not the proper way to look at the way we compete. That's what they mean when they say they're wrong on the facts and the law. And that's going to be a main argument in this case. Are these markets defined properly or not? And if they are these shares correct or not? And do they depict a deal that could cause harm? I have to say that even in the markets the states have defined, which are narrow, which they had to do in order to push the shares up, the shares are very close to being borderline. They barely exceed those thresholds that suggest harm from a deal. So this is a close case.
What are the probable outcomes here, or at least like a timeline for outcomes?
So what the states are going to have to do still is file for a preliminary injunction, because right now the companies can't close their deal. They're waiting for UK and they're waiting for the European Commission to decide. But once those two regulators come through, and I think they probably will clear the deal eventually, they have no legal impediment to closing. And once they've closed and they've integrated, it's highly unlikely that these states can convince a judge to unscramble the eggs and force them to unwind. So as we get closer to a UK decision, which may be later this year, they're going to have to get a preliminary injunction.
Help me with what FCC Chair Brendan Carr said. California Attorney General said that they would not sue if Paramount agreed to spin off CNN. It's hard to conceive a competition antitrust theory that takes you all the way up to the point where owning or not owning CNN as part of that broader group is a legitimate line that antitrust or competition law would draw?
Well, I'll say a couple things. First, the California State Attorney General, Rob Bonta, to my knowledge, just a few days ago, made a statement that he hadn't said anything like that. Now, if he has and I have missed it, that's fair.
Okay.
But what he had said is that isn't something. I don't know why people are presuming we want CNN to be divested. But on the other hand, one of the markets they've alleged, which is the licensing of basic cable channels to distributors, there are retransmission fees that are paid by Comcast and DirecTV and companies like that are paid for these packages of cable channels, will go up by virtue of owning this giant package of cable channels. CNN is in that package. And if the answer is the remedy there is to divest some cable channels, CNN could be one of them. So it doesn't lack merit.
Last question. Is this a case that you think is going to go back and forth for a while? They're going to be settled? And is this deal going to ultimately get through? Right now, we had showed earlier shares of both Warner Brothers and Paramount were higher today.
Well, I think that this is going to go back and forth for a while. I think the UK is going to hold things up for some months and give the states some cushion here to try to get a preliminary injunction. It puts Paramount in a tough position because they have a ticking fee that kicks in on October 1st, 25 cents per shareholder per quarter for Warner Brothers. And they're not going to like that. So I suspect if a preliminary injunction kicks in, there may be some settlement viable down the road, because I would suspect Paramount's probably playing hardball right now because they think this is a weak case.
God, it's so much fun. I mean, I can't wait until we say the streaming series comes out on just like the...
It's a little too meta.
It's a little too meta. My next life, I want to come back as Jen Rhee. I'm just going to put it. Bloomberg Intelligence Senior Litigation Analyst for Antitrust. She is Jennifer Rhee, joining us here in studio.